what are some of the differences you are seeing in Miami so far? I'll share some of the things I've been seeing. Construction workers are doubling down. I was mentioning online about a week ago that in just 24 hours, the expressways have been opening up brand new lanes. Now, remind me if I'm wrong here, but doesn't it take 20 years to add one extra lane? I mean, since I was born, well, I wasn't born in Miami, but since I was brought here at the age of 5, I can always recall that there was some sort of a construction happening either on the Palmetto or on the Turnpike or on the I-95. And then all of a sudden, these construction workers are finalizing big constructions such as lanes, and not just any lanes. I'm talking about the ones that go over expressways. We now have bridges going over the expressway. We now have things like parks underneath the Brickell trains, the Metro Rail. We have high rises being built sometimes I drive to Brickell to go do a comedy show and I notice a building that I've never noticed before. Another thing I've been seeing that's happening in Miami, music venues have been opening up left and right. And ever since that prank that happened where Churchill's was supposedly going to be replaced with a Chili's, and then everybody all of a sudden went up in an uproar talking about, oh, I remember when I used to go to Churchill's and punk bands used to play, and we would watch these bands playing at 3 a.m. while I'm doing heroin in the toilet, or whatever stories people want to start talking about. Now all of a sudden, Miami's talking about, where's all the music? How come we don't have any venues to listen to music? Miami, all of a sudden, whoever the entrepreneurs are, it's like they all got the same idea at the same time. I saw a couple of venues starting to open up, and they're now playing music. Hell, there's even music bars happening in our city. Music bars. Now get this. There's a thing in Tokyo where listening bars became very popular, and there's vinyls everywhere, and some random DJ would come in, play some music while you're in the corner getting drunk. It's almost like a place where introverted people aren't so creepy. At a bookstore, if somebody goes there and reads a book on a Sunday afternoon at 3 o'clock, is this guy a school shooter? Is this guy sending dick pics to somebody at night, right? When you go to a music bar, it's more lenient. Oh, this guy's hip. This guy listens to Marvin Gaye. He's probably not that weird. There's two of them now. There's Dante's Hi-Fi, and there's another one in downtown. I was like, oh, wow, look at Miami. Look at Miami getting cultural. Since when? I called it. And I always knew this day would come where Miami realizes that the options it has for entertainment and arts is extremely limited. Here, I got another one for you, Miami. Why do we only have one art museum? Why do we have only one real established art museum? And it's the same thing. I went into the Pam, and shout out to Pam. I'm not dissing you, Pam, all right? I'm glad you're established. But I go into Pam in March, look at the exhibits, love what I saw, and then I go back in September, the same exhibits. Maybe they changed a corner or something. That's about it. And then lo and behold, what happens when you go outside and exit through the gift shop? Oh, look, a full bar. Wait a second, Pam. Are we looking at art or are we getting drunk? Oh, both. That's very Miami. One thing I've noticed also that's changing in Miami, the cold front. I mean, if you think Miami weather was bipolar enough, imagine now you got humid, you got regular heat, you've got rainy days, you got cloudy days, and now all of a sudden cold fronts are now getting into the mix, which is not a bad thing. But now, do I got to start buying sweaters or is it pulling a fast one? Is Miami saying, hey, guess what? It's now cold in our city. And then you go out, you buy a bunch of flashy sweaters, right? Because a hoodie ain't enough. You got to get, like a green fur coat. You got to get some nice boots. And you got to look good in Miami because Miami is not going to wear what New York or Denver wears when it's cold. All right. We have our own style. And God forbid we ever go out looking like some other city. That is not happening. All right. The next thing that I've been seeing that's different in the city of Miami this year is the fact that a lot of restaurants are opening up. Very expensive restaurants. I think Miami is even doubling down on its prices when it comes to restaurants. As every single restaurant that I've been seeing opening so far in 2023, they're all like 4 or 5 star restaurants. And I don't blame you, Miami, because things are getting expensive. If you want to open a restaurant in Miami, what are you going to do? You're going to open another fritanga with these rents? All the great fritanga options are already taken. All the bakery options already taken. The only places that are left to open these things are in places that are like where people are closing their doors fast. In Brickell, the design district, you got to go to an expensive place. And guess what? If you open up shop, if you open up a restaurant at an expensive place, you're going to have to get 5-star cooking. You're going to have to find a chef putting together 3 little shrimps and some arugula on the side and selling it for $300. Look what's happening in Brickell. What has opened recently in Brickell? Sexy Fish. I feel bad whenever I walk around Sexy Fish. If I'm walking around Brickell, right, and I'm carrying something like a speaker to go do a comedy show down the street, and then I just look at Sexy Fish and all the people jumping out of valets, going into that bar restaurant, and seeing all the beautiful people waiting outside in line as I walk by, I feel like I'm homeless. I feel like I should go up and down there and be like, hey, man, I'm doing a comedy show down the street. Can you spare a couple of bucks? You know, the Dolphins haven't changed. From what I can tell so far, the Dolphins are still fumbling the bag when it comes to Super Bowl. But you know what? I said it in the previous episode that one of the New Year's resolutions Miami should have is to support its teams. Because Miami, let's face it, you guys only support the team when they're winning. If the Marlins were ever in the World Series, that's when everyone starts talking about the Marlins. But for now, Billy the Marlin is going out there trying to get as much as attention as he can to support that Marlins baseball team. And God bless that man. For whoever's inside the Billy the Marlin mascot, God bless him, because that guy is risking a stroke every single day with a stadium with like 1/4 of it full. See, every other mascot doesn't have that problem. You know, you go to a Brewers game. Bernie the Brewer is out there, you know, with his big mustache, running around, sweating, but at least he has the place packed. Billy the Marlin, in this Miami weather, about to get a heat stroke. 30 people instead of 3,000. So this is what you should do, Miami. Go out, start supporting your team. Go to one Marlins game a month. One. And then if the Dolphins lose, don't complain. Just be like, you did your best. They need a little pick-me-up. Cheer them up, man. Be like, hey, you know what? Start tagging them on Twitter. Hey, man, I saw that fumble you did, man. You know, you may have fumbled in the game, but I just want to let you know you haven't fumbled my heart. I support you all the way. There you go. That's a kind thing to do. And the next thing you know, we'll probably win a Super Bowl.